You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today and coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Angels with Scaly Wings. So y'all, the mystery really is, it just keeps building and building up. I think I will do a separate episode on what happens if you go to the portal. But for right now, I'm going to continue off the story. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm Chan, you are up, and let's go. Alright. I see. That kind of diagnosis would drive some people crazy, but maybe that's what it did to her. Having to live with that knowledge must have been difficult. You heard about That is not a happy achievement. Okay, thanks, game, I guess. Jesus. Remy paused and gave me an embarrassed smile. Quite a bit of time has passed since you arrived, and you've barely been able to speak. I've been talking a lot. I don't mind. There must be a lot on your mind, too. There is. Since I work with Emera, I know all the details surrounding you and Reza. Not many do. Many rumors are going around town. All this time you've been working with our police? Yeah. And now you're hunting the person who was supposed to be your partner. It must be really hard for you. I came here because I wanted to do the right thing. Nothing about that has changed. What kind of person is Reza anyway? The kind that stops at nothing to achieve what he believes in. I can see that. We've already witnessed just how far he will go. What do you think about him? Honestly, I'm not sure. And back home, this relentless quality of his was admired, but I certainly don't condone his actions. Given what I know about him, I think he must have a reason, as weird and twisted as it may be. And what about you? I know I have my own principles. I see. How is your hunt for Reza going anyway? Not too great. We don't have any strong leads or any ideas of his whereabouts. In the end, we're just following his trail of murder and destruction. People are getting afraid. The rumors are starting to take effect. I thought Emera was going to give a press conference to warn the public. That didn't happen. She feared the potential backlash if people knew about Reza while you were still here, so for the time being, he has been declared as a missing person. The public has been informed that if someone sees him, they're to call the police immediately. They were told he may be suffering from an affliction that makes him behave erratically. But some people are putting two and two together, and no one has seen Reza for a while, even before he was officially declared missing. It's easy to line up the timelines and see that the murder started happening shortly after he vanished. What we know about the break-ins and thefts is also damning. The objects stolen all point towards Reza. I'm not sure how much longer they can keep this a secret. How do you think the public will react, considering that I'm still staying here? I don't know. We can't really predict the public opinion, but you can bet there will be critical voices. I'm not sure I could convince everyone that I'm not involved with Reza's plans. Well, you do have the council's support. If Emera voiced that you were on our side, it wouldn't be so bad if the public found out. But she also made it clear that she believes most people won't have the same opinion. She won't support me publicly if their vote is against me. But that is true. Emera plays a political game a lot. She aligns with the popular opinion so people will like her. I'd say it's a pretty good tactic, honestly. If you want to be a good politician, If you want to be a successful politician, that's generally what you do. You just go with the popular opinion. So, you don't really stand for anything. Anyway. If you're playing that game, I guess so. Does the public know about the... Let me see. Well, let's load that. I want to see if you can pick any different options, see what happens. It is, but that's who she is. Does the public know about the portal's current state? No, if it can be fixed, it wouldn't be worth mentioning. And if they can fix it, they aren't going to announce it before they know how to deal with the current situation. Compared to Reza, it's not really a problem. It might become one pretty soon. If word gets out and I'm suddenly his accomplice, what would happen to me? How would you even deal with Reza if you caught him? I'm not sure. I suppose we would have to work something out between our legal system and whatever humanity has to say on the matter. And if the portal was done for, what then? Then humanity would be out of the picture for any legal proceedings. Reza would likely be held until contact has been reestablished or just serve his sentence here. I see. How do your jails work anyway? Well, if a crime has been committed and proven without a doubt, a jail sentence can be a consequence. Our delinquents live in an area separate from the rest of society, monitored at all hours of the day. They receive the help they need, and efforts are taken to make them realize their wrongdoings and integrate them back into our community. Life isn't that much different there than it is here. The spaces are more cramped for sure, but mostly it's just a very controlled environment. That's not much of a punishment. It is a consequence, not necessarily a punishment. Our society at large benefits more from people who are rehabilitated. If mental issues are the cause, those can at least be found and addressed. That sounds like how it used to be back home. These days in our city, you get 3 strikes. What does that mean? 3 infractions of our rules and you get thrown out of the city. If someone is a drain on our limited resources, we won't support them. Well, I can understand why you needed to incorporate such a policy. The finality of it makes me a bit uneasy. It has worked so far. It's not as if the outside is completely unkind. Someone expelled from the city might find a different community or join one of the mobile groups. The situation inside our city-state is still much better than the outside, though. We're very strict with those allowed to live there. It is a privilege. Anyone or anything that threatens the inside society or the lives of its people is removed very quickly. How will a murderer like Reza be dealt with? An eye for an eye? No, we don't do that, but murder is a crime so heinous that immediate expulsion is a consequence, regardless of prior infractions. I see. Well, what do the citizens think about this system? Some agree with the method and some don't, but as long as it works, people won't complain. Weeding out undesirable elements is what keeps their standard of living intact. I guess that means policies don't play as big of a role where you come from. No, it won't change a working system. It varies here, but I'm so tired of Emra and her games. As I work with her, I can see exactly how she plays the public. I know every council member has their own approach, but everything she does is so tailored towards the public's expectations. For her, it's just a popularity contest. You know what? That gives me an idea. Really? Well, what is it? The human visit and all the associated consequences are her responsibility, right? Yes? For her, the situation with Reza must be utterly horrifying. She keeps talking about preventing public backlash, but she's really just trying to protect herself. That sounds accurate. Maybe we can use that to our advantage. How? She can send me back to my world right now. That makes me the only one here with knowledge of Reza and humans in general. That's true. If I speak from this point of authority, we should have a much easier time convincing her of anything we want. You couldn't convince her to let you stay in our world, though. Yes, but I was trying to use reason and plead with her. I didn't take into account her fear of public backlash. I think we can manipulate this fear of hers and use it to our advantage. If there were consequences to fear from Reza, me, and the rest of humanity, and those consequences would make her look bad to the public, that would be reason for her to reconsider any action, right? I suppose so, but what situation could this apply to? She nearly sent me back through the portal. If she tries anything again, at least we have something we can use against her. I think I see where you're coming from. Reza's still a mystery to me, though. All things considered, wouldn't it be beneficial for him to just stay here? No offense, but even our prisons offer a better standard of living than your city. As such, couldn't that be a reason for him to have vandalized the portal? I don't think so. You're right, your world is in much better shape than ours. But even if Reza can stay here, he wouldn't. He came here for the same reason I did, to help our people. He has a very pronounced sense of duty to humanity, and I believed in him when he stepped through the portal. He proclaimed that he would do everything he could. When I met him again in this world, I had the impression that he wanted to get our mission over with as soon as possible, so we could return to our world with aid. That's going to be difficult with the portal out of order. The person who did it probably didn't realize it wasn't a very good idea. This might make Reza even more desperate. Who knows what he will do next? And if anything happens, I can't leave either. If the portal is gone for good, I suppose you'd have to stay here. What do you think about that? I'd love living here. Everything I've heard about this place is so wonderful compared to back home. That's good to hear. I certainly wouldn't mind if you stuck around. Only now do I realize that everything I told you earlier must seem so petty compared to the struggles you face. Say that. We all have our own struggles. I suppose that's true. I can't even imagine what life must be like where you're from. Back home I was just trying to survive and help others do the same. It hasn't changed. I'm almost afraid of going back to the city, though. Times are so rough. Yet if I didn't have to go back, I would. I can't just let them down like that, you know? I have to try and do what I can. That's why I came here. I wish I could be that strong. Who says you can't? I don't know, You told me about your old job. Yeah, I miss those days. What about it? It's not exactly the same as saving a city, but you were helping people, right? That's true. Maybe once your term with Imra is over, you could do something like that again. I really wish I could. Can I ask you a question? Of course. Do you even like me? There must be a reason why you've put up with me for this long. What are you talking about? Do you consider me a friend, or maybe more? No. I like you as more than just a friend. Oh, whoa, what's this? Notices your sexy life decisions. Is that so? In that case, well, the summer festival is coming soon. It's an event we hold in town every year. They've got fireworks and all kinds of shows. It might be fun for you to experience a different part of our culture. What do you say? Would you like to accompany me? I'd love to, but I can't promise I won't have other obligations at the time. I see. Well, I'll call you and we'll see if we can work it out around our schedules. Sure thing. Then it's settled. I probably should get going now, though. Thanks for hearing me out, Keegan. Likewise. Looks like I have some free time today. Go meet with Lorem. Alrighty. Let's see what Lorem's got to say. I went to the bar Lorem had suggested as our meeting place. When I looked around, I saw Bryce sitting at a table, talking to someone I couldn't see. I lingered on him for a second, but soon spotted Lorem in the corner of my eye. There you are! Hey, Lorem! It's good to see you. I thought you might not show up. Am I late? Not at all. I got here early. I'm kind of surprised you wanted to meet me here. Don't take this the wrong way, but are you even old enough to drink? What are you talking about? Oh, I see. I can assure you I'm a fully grown adult. My species doesn't get much bigger than this. Speaking of which, are you fully grown yet? How big do humans usually get, and how do you stack up, comparatively speaking? And, oh, how would you mind if I took some notes? Before we get to that, you haven't even told me yet what exactly this is all for. Are you sure you're not a reporter? If I was, Sebastian wouldn't have to let me meet. If I was, Sebastian wouldn't have let me meet you in the first place. And I thought the uniform was just a clever disguise. It's real though. Sebastian knows I work for the local post office. Excuse me, but this still doesn't really tell me anything about why I'm here. You're a postman who wants to interview me for what exactly? Sorry, I guess I got ahead of myself here. Maybe a full introduction is in order, and after that, you can still decide whether you want to go through this with us or not. Sounds good to me. I recently graduated college with a degree in computing and moved here with a good friend of mine. This town doesn't exactly offer the best opportunities to put my degree to good use, though. Then why move here in the first place? Living in the city can be very expensive. I can always move later when I get a job there. I've got other plans right now, though. I'm working on a video game. Oh, exactly. Video games and computers are just starting to catch on in places like this town. Making good content will be very important to give a good first impression. And humans have always been part of our media, books, movies, and now games. With you on our side, this could be an amazing opportunity. Well... oh, maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all. Why? I don't know, you don't seem so thrilled about this anymore. Besides, your job must be really stressful, and you're probably already in the spotlight all the time. Now, to top it all off, you get some postman harassing you for an interview. If you wanted to leave, I get that. Stay. Well, I'm already here and have nothing else to do, so let's make the most of this. Yes, thank you! At least I won't have to be so careful now. With a reporter, I'd have to worry about things being misinterpreted or being taken out of context. You should still be careful. What you tell me now will influence how your entire species will be represented in my game. Don't worry, though. I'll treat this delicate matter with the required finesse. Have yourself. We haven't even started yet. I'm sure of it, okay? How should we do this? Let me think. Why do you want to make this game in the first place? I've always wanted to make a video game. I've had this idea for a while, and it seems now is the right time to do it. It's almost as if you arrived at the perfect moment. I don't know, don't you think my visit will overshadow your efforts? People may not be so interested in playing a game about humans anymore if they had a real one show up. Good point. But the vast majority won't get to meet you personally anyway. If I say I did and modeled the humans in the game after you, people will flock to it to get a similar experience. Let's see. Okay. Awesome! Okay, but why focus on humans? What makes us so important? If there's one thing that people here love, it's humans. It doesn't matter if they just see them in the media or believe in them as mythical creatures. For me, humans were always real. I just didn't know whether I'd ever get a chance to meet one myself. I guess I can cross that one off the bucket list. Now that we're here, I can tell you that no expense will be spared to make our portrayal of humans as accurate as possible. You certainly seem passionate enough about this. For good reason, I just love humans. If you say it like that, it actually ends up sounding pretty weird. Besides, what if I turn out to be a horrible person? What would you think about us humans then? It wouldn't change anything, because I wouldn't base my opinion of an entire species or on interactions with a single individual. Fucking thank you! My god, more people need to have this mindset. And what is your current opinion of us based on? Just the myths we have and the previous portrayals of humans in our media, but I suppose that's why I'm here talking with you right now. I want the truth in all of it. Telling you all of it might not be such a good idea. Oh, yeah, I guess it would take a lot of more time than we have today. Anyway, what's the actual game about? What do you do? It's a community simulation game. It all starts with the player characters moving into a procedurally generated community, which is inhabited by all kinds of mythical creatures, humans included. Mythical creatures like humans. Not only are the towns you move into unique, but the inhabitants are too. There are a variety of traits that get randomized, both in looks and personality. There are many things you can do, but it's very open-ended, and you can live your life there however you want to. Sounds like my kind of game. Oh, really? I couldn't ask for a better compliment than that. What other mythical creatures are there besides humans? I haven't worked that out yet, but humans alone give us a lot of material to work with. How so? The question of the mythical human can be tackled in a variety of ways. There are many different interpretations of what humans are like. For example, in general, the mythical human can be divided into three categories. Firstly, the human as a physical creature. Secondly, the human as a non-physical entity. And thirdly, the human as a spiritual being. Let's start with the physical aspects. Oh, alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!